Hello, welcome to a quick little video on my channel. I am participating in a 3x3 note card swap on a Facebook channel. I will put the link down below, a Facebook group. It's for Mandy on YouTube. She hosts a bunch of swaps and I saw this one and I thought it would be so much fun, and I thought that I would share with you what I'm creating and show you how I'm creating it. So what you were supposed to do is have a set of 6 note cards and envelopes and a holder for them, a box or some place to put them. And so I decided to create a folder. So this is what I did, and then all the stuff that's in there, and you were supposed to include a pen as well. So I'm going to show you this and then I'll show you how I made it, okay? So it opens up like this. We just have to untie the lace and it opens like this. Oops. And then you've got 3 note cards and envelopes here and 3 note cards and envelopes on the other side. Let me pull these all out so you can see. So this is the folder. It has a nice little gusseted pocket, and then it holds, and these are textured, or they have a bit of dimension to them. I don't know if you can tell, but this here is popped up, so, and it still fits all of these cards. Okay, so this one here I made a little bit bigger first because I made the envelopes bigger. And then this one here I made a little bit smaller, and I don't know which I like better, but I'm just doing I'm going to show you how I made the bigger one. Okay, so for this one it opens up, and then I made the envelopes a little bit smaller for this one, and it's all the same design. It's just they have different papers and a different sentiment in them. So we're supposed to make a set of 3, but I'm making a 4th one for a host type gift, and I'm going to show you how I made it. So these 2 I made using a printable digital kit. I think it was called Heart of Home, that I got from AC Digitals or something like, I think it's AC Digitals, yeah. I printed the pages out and then made all the cards and stuff with that, okay? This one and the one that I'm making with you, I used a digital kit called Chasing Dreams by Maggie Holmes, and we're gonna go ahead and use that one today too. So this one opens up like this, and you can see here that it looks a little bit small, but you could put a little bit bigger cards in here if you wanted to. So these ones are just a little bit different in that they have a little popped up embellishment on them. So a little butterfly, I guess. So let's go ahead and make one, and then I'm going to show you how I made them, and then I'm also going to show you how I put the cards and the envelopes together. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside and let's start off. To start off, I'm just going to do a whole walkthrough with you how I made these. So the very first thing that I did was I cut the card bases, and I cut the card bases from 110 pound cardstock in white, and I cut them to 3 by 6 and then folded them in half. Okay, then the next thing that I did is I went ahead and I picked out the papers that I wanted. Just to save me time and paper, I printed these double-sided, and then I cut a 3 by 3 piece off, and then I cut another 3 by 3 piece. So you can see this is the same piece of paper, it's just got a different pattern on the other side. Okay, and so what I've done is I cut 1, 2, these aren't 3 by 3, I'm sorry, they are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then I did this one to 2 7/8 too, and then I cut it with a die cut. And then, so I did that with all of them so that they were ready to go. And then I kind of worked in a, what do you call it? Assembly line progression, I guess. So I'm gonna make 2 of them with you guys. Okay. So I've got here all of my stuff. I need some foam adhesive, and I use already backed adhesive just because it saves me a little bit on adhesive. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn these 2 pieces over, and I'm gonna put a piece of foam on the back of those. Like that. And like that. Once you make these, you're gonna see how easy they come together. It's a perfect little gift. Okay, so that's that. Then I'm gonna set those aside, and then I'm gonna take these 2 pieces, and I'm going to, I forgot which one I was using. Yes, okay, so I'm gonna flip them over, and I'm going to apply my adhesive to the back of these. And I made 6 of them, so I kind of just did them in progression here. From one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, I could make at least 2 cards out of. So, and then I'm pretty sure that I had some extra. All right, so now we've got this. This is where we stand, okay? Now we're going to take a little bit of this eyelash trim. I'm just gonna cut off a little hunk. And then I'm gonna take this trim, and I'm just gonna kind of place it in a messy circle on the card base. And then I'm gonna take my topper that goes on that one, and I'm gonna put a bunch of hot glue onto the foam part. And then I'm just going, oh no, I messed that up. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna do it this way then. Okay, so, nope, that doesn't match either. This guy's gonna have to go on this one. This is my extra one, but we'll just have to get creative. Okay. So I'm gonna put that one there. Okay. That one's just not glued down, so that's okay. All right, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and put the eyelash trim down there again in a messy circle. Take my top piece, put some hot glue on there, and then stick it on there. And then I just kind of make sure that the eyelash trim is kind of sticking out everywhere so that it looks pretty. Okay. And then let's take this and put this piece on here. Okay, so there's that, and now we're finished with that part. Now we're gonna take some gold word stickers. These are by Maggie Holmes. I got them at Tuesday morning, and we're gonna use them. And let's see. I think I'm going to use this one here on this one. There we go. That one goes there nicely. And then let's use, this one says OX. So let's put it right about there. Okay, that's good. And then I also have these. Let's just go ahead and stick these on there. I got this long one, which I'm going to cut off the hello. And I'm going to use the My Dear on this one. Oh no. Good. You definitely want to make sure that your cards are opening the way that you want them to open before you put the stickers on, I guess. And then just because I'm out, let's put this adored one on here. I imagine that these gold stickers aren't showing up very good on camera, but they are gold. They're very pretty. Okay. Now I've got that, and I've got to make one more. I have it here, but I lost the top part of it somewhere. Don't know where it went to, so we're just gonna let that be for now, and I will make that one off camera. So that's essentially how you do that. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how I did the envelope. It's quite easy to make the envelope. I have 3 pieces of paper, and I use printer paper to make my envelopes because I like them a little bit thinner, not so sturdy. But I do use 24-pound printer paper and not the regular weight. Okay, and I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to cut them at 4.5. Okay. And then again at 4.5. And then I'm going to cut them at 7.5. So they're 4.5 by 7.5. Okay. And 4.5 by 7.5. And I am cutting 3 at a time just to make it go a little bit quicker. All right. So we've got that part done. Now I'm going to take my scoreboard, and I'm going to take, for this part, I'm going to take 2 at a time, and I'm going to score this at 2.5 and 6. Then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and 4. Okay. Again, the next 2 at a time. Score it at 2.5 and 6. And then 1/2 inch and 4. When you're scoring regular printer paper, you definitely want to be a little bit carefuler too. That's why I do 2 at a time. 2.5 and 6. 4 and 1/2. Pretty easy so far. Okay. Then I'm just going to go ahead and make 2 of these with you, and I'll make the other 2 off camera. We're going to take our scissors, and again I'm doing 2 at a time, and we're going to cut this part up here is the shorter. You can see here if I hold it this way, this is the shorter part of the 2. So on that part we're going to cut these side thingies off, these little tabs. Okay, and it's important to cut them straight off. We don't want to angle this ones like we normally do. We wanted to go with a nice straight cut on both of the score marks. So I'm cutting straight here and straight on this side too. Okay, then I'm going to come down here, and on this one I'm going to angle in and then cut straight up. Okay, just like that. Then over here, we're gonna cut straight up and angle this side. Okay. When you're done with that, this is what you have. Then we take it and the first thing we do is grab our corner rounder. We're gonna corner round the top part. This is our envelope flap. Then we're gonna fold that down, and with the larger side of the corner rounder, I corner round the side parts because I think that it looks a little bit nicer. Then I'm going to fold all of these in and fold down and crease it all the way around. Then I open it back up, and on the bottom portion, on the outside sides, I'm going to apply my adhesive. Then I'm gonna fold it up and we have an envelope. And then you can see, we made these envelopes, they're very big. They're a lot bigger than the card, and that's because if you add dimension to it, you need the room. So for this one, I intentionally made them a lot bigger. You can see here, it's a lot bigger because you need the room if you're gonna have a bunch of embellishments on it. So keep that in mind when you make yours, okay? All right, so now you know how to make the envelopes. Now, let's make the folder, okay? So once you have the 6 cards and the 6 envelopes, you're gonna go on to the folder. To make the folder, I printed out a double-sided sheet of paper because you're gonna see the inside and you're going to see the outside. So you want both pieces, or both parts, okay? Then we are gonna cut this. This is going to be 7 inches by 1, or by 11. So we're gonna leave it at 11 and cut it down to 7. Okay. Then we're going to put that aside, and we're going to take this piece, put it in our scoreboard. Then we're going to get our scoring tool, whichever one you use. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1 inch. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to score it at 10.5 and 10. Okay. Then we're going to find our center. So our center is 5.5. So we're going to score it at 5. And then at 6. So in the center, we want 1 inch. Okay. Then we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to score it at 4 and 4.5. What this is going to leave us with is a 4x4 folder. Okay. If you want to make the smaller one, my smaller one is 3.5 by 3.5. So I just took 1/2 inch off of it. Okay. But I think I'm gonna stick with the bigger one for this one. All right, so now we're done with that. That's what you have to do to create the folder, okay? So now what we wanna do is flip it so that we have the larger part on the top, okay? This down here is smaller, this is wider, this is our top. We want to cut the side things off all the way to the first score mark. Okay. Then I'm going to cut there. So what I've done here is I angled this part, both of them, and then I cut away the second flap here and just left a little tiny square. And I angled that as well. Okay, let's come to the other side. So we're gonna bring it back up. This is our big part, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna cut straight down. And just cut straight down that. Then we're gonna cut in to that score mark. Then we're gonna cut in to the next score mark. And essentially on this one, we're just going to cut out a V. Okay, then I'm just gonna remove this little extra tab there. And this is what we're left with. Okay. So now this is our bottom, and this is our top. This is our part of the, this part down here is going to be our card, or our pocket. All right, so the last step then is we're going to cut up on these side parts. Whoops. What I did is I'm gonna cut this rounded until it meets up with the second score mark. You're gonna go past the first one and onto the second one. And then I'm just kind of doing the same thing on this side, doing my best to kind of make them match up, but I'm not gonna be too picky about it. Then this part here has to go. So I fold these two up and cut this one out. Okay? And this, when you're all said and done, is what you're left with. This is what's going to create our folder. Okay? So from here, we're going to crease all of our score marks, starting with the center ones, and then working our way out. Okay. And we come over here and crease those, crease, and crease. Okay, then we're going to open it back up. And now on this little tiny tab here, we're gonna put some adhesive. And on the outside tab of this one, we're gonna put adhesive. Then we're gonna turn it around, and on the little tiny tab, we're gonna put adhesive. And on the outside tab here, we're also going to place our adhesive. Then we're gonna flip it over. Then this part is gonna fold in, and then the rest of it is gonna fold up and match up to the sides, just like that. Okay, fold in your little tab, then fold it all around, wrap it around the tab, and then just kind of bring your sides together. It is important that you don't bend it to match the curve or to match where you angled it, because you don't want it to be angled like that. You want the box to be flat. Okay, so there we have that. Now I'm going to open it back up, and I'm just going to run my bone folder on the inside along those pieces. And now you can see that we have a lovely little folder with which we're going to take our card pieces, place them in there, and then your envelopes go in the back. And then, last but not least, you take your little pen. And I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to attach the pen. I might tie it on, or I might just kind of leave it hanging in there and leave it like that, okay? But to finish this off, what I'm gonna do here is much like I did with this one. I'm going to use a rosette that I already have made. I've got here a nice little gold one. I don't want to use gold, I think. I've got here a little teal one, which I think matches the collection nicely. And then I've got a nice little gold bow, which I'm going to use. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to use the gold bow. I cut this bow from my Cricut. So we're just going to place that right inside the rosette. That's quite pretty. And then I'm going to take a gem here, and I'm going to put the gem in the center of the bow. Okay. Then now is the part where you decide how you want to close it. So for some of mine, I used lace. I dyed this lace and tied it on there. This lace I left white. And then on this one, I used a piece of elastic, which I really like, and put that on there. I adhered it under there. So I think I'm gonna do the elastic again because I like that. But I learned my lesson on that one, and I'm gonna make this one a little bit snugger. So I'm gonna grab my elastic here, and I'm just going to measure out a piece that would wrap around the box and slightly pull. I don't want it to pull too hard, but I do want it to be snug. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to put this on the front. So I'm just gonna run a little bit of hot glue along there and then place this on it. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then I'm going to wrap it around the outside. And then I'm gonna pull it tight, but not too tight. I don't want it to be too stretched, but I do want it to be stretched to some point so that it will hold the book closed. Then you just have to flip it off the back side, and there you go. Then when you're done, you stick it back on the front, and there we go. Okay, so then the last little decorating touch we're gonna do to this one is kind of make it match the cards. We're going to take a little bit of that, and then we're gonna put this on there. I'm just kind of opening it up a little bit more. Then I'm gonna take this okay, and then I'm gonna take this hot glue here, and I'm kind of making sure that I get it all the way around to the edges, because I definitely want to make sure that it's going to hold in my eyelash trim there. Then I'm gonna stick this on there like so. Press it down. And now we have a really great little gift card set. I really like the little folder part. I think that I might like it a little bit smaller better, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I think the bigger one fits the handmade envelopes that I made better. These envelopes I bought from Hobby Lobby. So I think that, I don't know, I'm going to go with this one because I like it. Or because I made it already. But anyways, if you have any questions, I hope that you would text me, or not text me, email me, or leave a comment down below, and I will try to get back to you. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I hope that I explained it well enough that you would be able to create your own. And I will leave the link down below to the Facebook group if you want to go and check it out. And also to Mandy, who's hosting the swap. And I will see you all again real soon for another video.